Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk movies, TV, music, and video games, but not necessarily in that order. My name is Mike. His name is Matt.
His name is Mike. My name is Matt. Thank you for joining us this week on the Media Boat Podcast. Today is May 15th, 2026. This is episode 538. And let's get right into it.
Let me a good palindrome date. So let's start with the music section. Start the music section with the Billboard. Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the hottest song in the land, again, is Choosing Texas by Ella Langley. Coming in at 2, Be Hurt by also Ella Langley. Got a 1-2 punch right there. And then at 3, dropping to number 3, Drop Dead by Olivia Rodrigo. At 4, Man, I Need by Olivia Dean. And right here, top 5, I Just Might by Bruno Mars. As for your album chart, your Billboard 200, at number 1 is The Great Divide by Noah Kahan. At 2, Dandelion by Ella Langley. At 3, Middle of Nowhere by Casey Musgraves. At 4, the problem himself, Morgan Wallen. And rounding out your top 5, da-da! It's Thriller by Michael Jackson. Yes, that Thriller by that Michael Jackson.
Getting the Michael movie push, I guess.
I mean, consider the Michael movie did over $200 million.
Yeah, so I guess people just went home and were like, I would like to listen to Thriller now.
Yes, and nothing past 1990.
Again, yes. That's crucial.
All right. Well, if you don't like any of those albums, we have new releases, starting with Sandbox by All American Rejects. Yes, those All American Rejects.
Yep.
We also have Little Wide Open by Kevin Morby. Fluorescence by Maisie Peters. Loco Cross Volver by Maluma. American Stories by Rostam. Same Fangs by Spencer Krug. And Now You Exist
Oh, good.
by The Field.
I was worried that I didn't exist.
Well, you thought, therefore you are.
That's a good point, actually. Thank you.
But everything get out of the way, we have a big release from a big artist, giving not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not
actually,
6.
it was just 3.
Okay, yeah, you're right, 3. Drake with what we knew was coming out, Iceman. But he didn't want to stop there. Has he also released Habibti? Habibti? Habibti.
Oh.
There's no second I. Habibti. And he also released Maid of Honor. That's MAID, of honor with a U in it, you know.
Oh, because he's Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely not of the British Commonwealth, although Canada is in the British Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, check yourself.
Yeah, so yeah, this was a surprise announcement late last night that 3 albums instead of 1 were going to be dropped. I didn't include this as my music story because that's literally the story. That's it. So that would have taken like 2 seconds to go over. So we just did.
Yep, and now we can go over into thoughts. Oh, no, so that wasn't the music story.
No, it wasn't.
Right. No. But going back real quickly to Middle of Nowhere, Casey Musgraves.
Yeah.
Debuted at number 3. Would like to see a bit higher, but Noah Kahan, wider, I guess, more pop.
Yeah, Noah Khan maybe had a second week thanks to an SNL bump. That's possible. So yeah, so that album's still on top.
Yep. But if you want to hear our thoughts on Casey Musgraves, you can listen to it last week.
Yep.
All right, let's get into music news. And
Yes.
it's that time, one of our favorite times of the year, where it's not the rock and roll nominees for music. It's the other big time of the year. No, not the Grammys. The other big time of the year, and not the Grammy noms. The other big time of the year. The National Recording Registry. You know, the thing that has the list of historic audio treasures. Well, they've compiled and added another 25 recordings to that list.
Yep.
And those include either albums, singles, or broadcasts that for these this year's inductees range from Taylor Swift's 1989, Beyonce's Single Ladies, put a ring on it, and all the way back to Paul Anka, Ray Charles, and Ruth Brown. The recording registry spans the entire history of recorded sound, but only rarely does the Library of Congress see fit to induct recordings made as recently as the 21st century,
Hmm.
which does mean that the Taylor Swift album and the Beyonce single are in rare company as they are the only inductees that have been released since the turn of the millennia,
Hmm.
the year 2000. The oldest entry on this year's list is Spike Jones and his City Slickers novelty record, Cocktail for Two, from 1944.
Yeah.
Other recordings being added include Weezer, The Blue Album, Shaka Khan, with her version of Prince's I Feel For You, The Go-Go's Beauty and the Beat, and Gladys Knight and the Pips with Midnight Train to Georgia,
Yep.
which
So
actually left
yeah.
at 11:30.
Ha, ha, ha. So yeah, a bunch of classics there, as you would expect from a list like this. But yeah, I think if you're talking about significant music released since the year 2000, I mean, the first names I would probably think of are Taylor Swift and Beyonce. So it makes sense that they're the first ones since that year. I mean, as the years go on, we'll see more and more from that era, as we inch closer to through the 2000s into the 2010s and onward. But yeah, I feel like like solid choices. I mean, of course, you could probably ask people to what Taylor Swift record should be in there besides 1989, and they might have an answer. But 1989 did have a specific impact on culture at the time that maybe puts the edge over the other options.
Yeah, it's weird that we're in the year 2026 and only one album and one song from the two since 2000 has been included on this registry.
I mean, it's tougher when you have so much music to consider and when you have probably a board that's looking at very specific criteria when they're looking at for things to enter. They're probably putting a lot of kind of, not factual based kind of criteria, like a sense of legacy, a sense of what is classic, what is timeless. And so I think it's harder to judge things that are more recent in modern memory and easier to judge things that are old.
Right, because this isn't the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
No.
where it gets in due to popularity. It gets
Right.
in for cultural significant reasons
Yeah.
that it needs to be preserved for all time,
Yeah.
or as long as the government wants to preserve things.
Right. And so, yeah, it makes sense when you think of like, okay, 1989 as a record, like changed Taylor Swift's like position in the pop world. And also it had like how many number one singles on it? Like a lot.
Mhm.
And then when you consider Beyonce as an artist, the iconic image that probably comes to mind first is her in the Single Ladies video. So that makes sense, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking at the rest of the list here, though, some absolute legendary singles on here,
Yeah. Yeah. True.
including Turn, Turn, Turn by the Byrds from 1965,
Yep.
Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano
Mhm.
in 1970. We also have the recording of The Fight of the Century, Ali versus Frazier from 1971, the Chicago uh, soundtrack original cast album from 1975, as well as The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band in 1979. And if you want to get more recent, yes, we had the Blue Album from 1994 and Reba McEntire with Rumor Has It from 1990.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, lots to go through. And this, like I said, every year they choose 25 songs to help grow that list. And next year we'll have another 25 to add. But did you listen to anything that could be on the National Registry 26 years from now?
No, no, I've got nothing to report on this week.
Okay, you got nothing. I've got no thoughts. So let's move on then. Yes, laugh at
No
it.
thoughts.
Into video games, where we start with new releases. We're going to go with Coffee Talk Tokyo as your wide release for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, Switch, and Switch 2. We also have Thick as Thieves for the PC, uh, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book for the Switch 2. And your other big release of the week, Forza Horizon 6 for the PC, Xbox Series X, and most notably, not the PS5,
That's true.
making an Xbox game Xbox exclusive again.
Yeah, you gonna put that on a hat?
Make Xbox exclusive again.
Please don't. The way you said it sounded like that.
All right. Well, let's continue with Xbox as we go into our video game news,
Yep.
where images of what reportedly shows two new Xbox controllers have appeared online, including an Elite Series 3 and what is claimed to be an Xbox Cloud gaming controller. The images, posted by Technoblog, claim to show two new peripherals from Microsoft, one of which would be a continuation of its popular premium controller line, and another which would mark a new line of controllers from the publishers. This so-called Xbox Cloud controller features a flat rectangular pad with two small grips on either side. The controller seamlessly features all of the buttons of a standard Xbox controller, but in a much smaller form factor. For example, the triggers and the shoulder buttons are much more like Joy-Con like. The top of the controller features a new button next to a cloud logo, which appears to hint at what the controller will be used for. The Elite Series 3 controller is similar to the second series of Microsoft's premium controller range in terms of shape. However, it now features two small silver scrolling wheels at the base. It's
Really
unclear
cute.
what these are used for, but they could serve the same purpose as similar place buttons on the DualSense Edge, which allows players to swap between controllers and lay out controller profiles.
Yeah, not huge news, but I included it just because I thought it
Mhm.
was interesting. We didn't know that we were going to get an Elite Series 3. That's good news. The Elite Series 2 has had a bevy of issues. I'll show you. Here's a visual of one of the issues I've had with my Elite Series 2 controller. Uh, this for the audio listeners. I'm showing a joystick that was on my Elite 2 that the rubber completely shredded from use.
Mhm.
And so it's just the bare metal.
And
Thankfully, it
then the
comes with
pedal also came
backups.
off because you
No,
popped
those
that off.
things, no, they're built to pop out.
Okay.
But yeah, thankfully they had one replacement ones built into the packet. So yeah, I hope this one's made a little better. I do like the scroll wheels. If it is just to set preferences, that'd be a little disappointing. I was kind of thinking, ooh, like just go through menus, because when the Steam controllers have started coming out, a lot of impressions mention that it's really nice to use the little touchpads on either side of the controller to scroll through menus, and I was like, ooh, that might be a good way to scroll. Um, As for the cloud controller, the one other tidbit that I didn't include in the what I typed up about the cloud controller is that, as you might assume, since Xbox Cloud Gaming is available on other things that aren't Xboxes, including some televisions, that it will be available as a Wi-Fi controller if Bluetooth is not available. So there'll be a new way to connect it that wasn't available on the base Xbox controllers. So yeah, so if you have a TV that has Xbox Cloud built in, you can still use this cloud controller. I would also assume you can just use this cloud controller as a regular Xbox controller. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to, but they'll probably market it towards an audience that they expect to use the cloud features.
I mean, that is the future of gaming, as we've been told over the past 10, 12, 15
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, if Wi-Fi controller sounded familiar, one, you're a sicko like me, and two, it's because you remembered either the Ouya controller, which also
Hmm.
had like a Wi-Fi connection, or the controller that Amazon tried to sell with the Amazon. Oh, what was their Luna? Was their service? I think something like that. God, I'm trying to dig into the memory banks to remember what Amazon's cloud gaming platform was. But yeah, it's an idea that is not new. It's just Microsoft adopting it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes Bluetooth will work, sometimes Wi-Fi will work.
I
Um,
believe it's not only based on accessibility for the hardware you're using. I think it's also has to do with latency being an issue with cloud gaming. That
your
might also be
memory
possible.
serves you right. It
Yes,
is Amazon Luna, the
Luna.
cloud gaming.
I don't know why I remember this stuff. Like I said, sicko. Anyway.
Anyways, have you played anything?
No, well, I mean, besides Tomodachi Life, which is a game as much as it is our little own personal soap opera that we play every week. I'm trying to think of anything weird that happened. I think I mentioned last week that Taylor Swift is now dating Julianne Moore.
Yes.
They're still together. No movement is made on that front. Oh, and I think I mentioned also Ken Jennings fell in love with Carly Rae Jepsen. So no, although our plan is later today to add two more residents to our island.
Okay.
We will be adding Megan the Stallion and Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
We kind of are
Two
half
wildly different choices there.
we're kind of half hoping that they fall for each other because we think that'd be very funny. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see. Otherwise, not much movement. It's been kind of a quiet week on the island, actually. We're just leveling people up, giving them new quirks, and new things to say. Jeff Probst now says, I'll go tally the votes when he's asleep, as like a nightmare kind of thing. He's imagining he's in tribal council. I'm trying to think of what else we did. No, that's pretty much the
Okay.
week. But yeah, that's your update, your Tomodachi Life update.
Well, in your Pragmata update, I'm
Yes.
pretty close to the end here.
Cool.
I'm hoping to finish by the end of next week because next week, Lego Batman collection comes out.
Yes, that is eagerly anticipated by Lego fans and Batman fans alike. The trailers make that thing look good, like
Mhm.
look good, look funny and charming and way you want a Lego game to be. Yeah, so
I keep going back and forth if I want the standard edition or the deluxe edition because I think the deluxe edition is going to get me more of my game that I want out of it, especially with additional DLC on the way, additional season
yeah.
packs. I'm like, I might as well spring for it.
Yeah, I guess the question is, well, are you going to buy those DLCs when they come out anyways? Because yeah, you might as well get ahead of it.
Well, much like I did with Digimon Story Time Stranger, I just bought the DLCs once they were all out at the same time because I
Yeah,
know just the base game itself is going to take me a long time to
that's true.
beat. This is going to be my summer game where I can
Yeah,
just jump to it when I can over the course of summer
yeah,
because I know nothing significantly important is going to be coming on, or at least coming out in terms of
yeah.
games.
Just slowly chip away at it.
Just like I did with the Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, I'm feeling those summer vibes, and I'm like thinking, you know what summer always makes me want to do? Play Power Wash Simulator. Like I might, like I don't know, that's just a
You mean
summer game
two?
in my head.
Power
Yeah, well,
Simulator 2,
two
the
obviously,
sequel.
but either really, like they just have summer vibes. I think it's just because it's like, oh, it's sunny out, and I'm like, I'm playing with water. Like that just seems like the thing you do in the summer. Like Super Mario Sunshine is a summer game.
It's a good way to stay
Like,
cool while you're staying
yeah,
inside.
exactly. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, I may or may not be able to talk about it next week. If I do buy the deluxe, it does I get the game 3 days early,
Oh,
which
I
means
see.
it gets out
Okay.
on the 19th.
Got it.
Otherwise, it's the 22nd.
Well, we'll see what happens next
I
week.
will keep you updated next week.
Yes.
But for now, let's move on into television, where we
Hmm.
start with the Sports Corner.
Yep.
And it is time once again to crown a champion in the world of golf. The PGA Championship is happening this weekend in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, and they are already through 2 rounds of the series, with Maverick McNealy currently leading, well, tied for the lead with Alex Smalley, both scoring under four for par. And if you're wondering, who are those two golfers? You're not alone. As the majority of the pack of names you would recognize, like Cameron Young, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler, are currently sitting at -2 below par. So only really 2 strokes back from the lead. They're currently all tied for ninth. So anywhere between first and, well, it's currently 15th is within 2 shots of each other, going into round 3 on Saturday and then round 4 on Sunday. So even though you might not know who Maverick McNealy is, chances are you might not need to know him, depending on how Saturday goes.
Fair enough.
But yeah, they are currently shooting. The projected cut was 4 over, and Wyndham Clark, your previous winner from about 3 years ago, missed the cut and will not be golfing this weekend.
I see.
Same with Tommy Fleetwood, but he's also the aging Tommy Fleetwood.
Hmm.
Yes, aging stuff. Speaking of things that are aging, the NFL continues to get older as we get closer to another season. And yesterday, we all NFL fans and all NFL non-fans were treated to the NFL release schedule in video form. Did you
Ah.
watch any of these videos?
No, but I saw a thing about the whatchamacallit, the Simpsons one, the Colts Simpsons one.
Yes. So here's the video winners, starting with the Colts doing The Simpsons, where it was very much a parody of the opening credits with Colts themes thrown into there. But ultimately, the schedule released was various Simpson clips because Simpsons have done everything at this point. We also had the Raiders with a Step Brothers themed intro with their 2 new quarterbacks who have never been on the team before, Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza. Kirk Cousins' previous team, the Falcons, did a This is Sports Center video, which, if you're old enough to remember, This is
Yes.
Sports Center videos, it played
Oh
well for
boy.
you.
I bet.
The Packers, not to be outdone, did a Robot Chicken inspired video,
Sure.
and the Rams did a Paul Thomas Anderson / Napoleon Dynamite video where everything was center, it was straight on, and it was quick and witty. We also had the Carolina Panthers literally blowing up their opponents in a demolition field, which was great to watch. And your top 2 video trendings were the Tennessee Titans, once again, with a Nashville walk around lookalikes video, as one of their team members walked around downtown Nashville saying, "Oh my God, you look like this player." And that was the schedule.
Ah, that's funny.
And the cream of the crop, the one who makes us talk about all of this, the Los Angeles Chargers,
Yes.
did yet another Microsoft, well, I guess they're no longer Microsoft, inspired video, this time centered around Halo or Halo Infinite
Mhm.
and all the various things you can customize in Halo Infinite, I guess, including a NFL schedule.
I kind of, I will say, I kind of miss when this was special, when it was like, oh, this. like every once in a while a team will do something fun, and now it's just like,
Now
well,
all the teams
everybody
get
is
in on it.
expected to do it. Yeah, I think it loses a little bit of its charm that way, but it is fun.
I mean, there are some teams who kind of opt out of doing a release schedule video, where the Lions just had Dan Campbell walk out of his office and post it to a bulletin board and say, "Here's your damn schedule."
Right, that's pretty good. I appreciate that.
The very minimalistic style, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, always fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the schedule is out. We are 100 days away from the start of the NFL season because it technically starts on a Wednesday this season due to the Rams and 49ers
Yes.
playing in Australia on Thursday morning football. Well, no, Friday morning football in Australia, Thursday night football here in the States
Right.
because time zones.
Because time zones.
Yep. All right, let's move on into the MLB. They're currently going
Yes.
on. I believe we talked about Skubal getting his shoulder surgery last week,
Yep.
but we do have some new information on the Tampa Bay Rays stadium.
Yep.
Currently, they are playing in a AAA stadium field, courtesy of the New York Yankees. But the team and local officials have announced a tentative agreement valued at $2.3 billion for a new ballpark to be funded by public and private investments.
Yep, this is what the Rays were waiting for. They were waiting for that funding to be finalized, and they're getting their ballpark. Now they just have to build it, which is going to take a little bit. So they're going to be stuck in that minor league park for just a little bit longer until that thing is ready.
Well, no, because they remember they had went to the minor league park because
Mhm.
their original stadium
Right.
got the roof bent in.
Well, that's why they were waiting for the funding for a new ballpark.
Hmm.
Because when we talked about that about a year and a half ago at this point, it was like the question was there, were they just going to repair the roof or they were just going to build a new park? And they decided that that just made more sense.
Well, no, they are going to repair the roof.
Also,
Yes,
okay, sure. All right, why not both? They took the porque no las dos approach
yes.
here.
Yeah, we previously reported they were going to repair the roof, but in order to do that, they
Right.
had to play at the AAA stadium. But there was also questions about do they
Yeah.
stay after they fix the roof?
I mean, this makes sense. It becomes a big tourist destination and it's something to show off. Like, I get why they'd do that.
Yep. All right. Speaking of showing off, playoffs.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Well, we know who are going to be in the playoffs. Over in hockey, the number one seeded Avalanche will take on the number one seeded Golden Knights in the Western Conference Finals. Meanwhile, the number one seeded Hurricanes await their upcoming opponent, whether it'll be the number one seeded Sabres or the number three seeded Canadians. It was very funny that the second round had all number one versus number three seeds. Never happens that way. Just
Yeah.
happened to be that way.
Happen to be the way.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see when or see who the Hurricanes end up playing as those conference final games start within 5 days on May 20th.
If it's Avalanche versus Hurricanes, is that so? Or do they call that the Weather Cup?
the
Like,
the
is
weather
an
finals.
avalanche is not really weather, but you know what I mean?
I
Like,
know
act
I know
of
what you're going
God,
for.
the acts of God Cup.
Uh, um, but over in the other playoffs, the NBA, well, LeBron is once again shipped
Yeah.
off to the no man's land as the
Yep.
Lakers lost to the Thunder, meaning the number one seeded Thunder are in the conference finals. As the other side, the Knicks are also in the conference finals.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the Spurs and the Cavaliers are trying to close out their games in order to prevent a game seven, as both of them are currently in the lead, 3-2 in the series.
Mhm.
But should they lose tonight, as they are currently playing, it will force a game seven for those teams.
Yep.
With the Spurs taking on the Timberwolves and the Cavaliers taking on the Pistons.
Yep. We'll
Sorry,
see.
that's the number one seeded Pistons.
That's true. That is true. So the question then, that's been on everybody's mind this week: Is this it for LeBron James?
I
Do you
mean,
think he's toast? Do you
I
think he's
think
out?
this is the end of LeBron as a Laker.
Okay.
I think LeBron goes one final season as a Cavalier because deep down in his heart, he is
Right.
still the Akron boy,
Yep. Hey,
even though he's a
Ohio loves that
42-year-old
man
man.
somehow.
And just doing that alone would get his
Mhm.
brand and both the his town and the Cleveland Cavaliers so much media hype.
Oh
Even if
yeah.
he's playing with a bunch of nobodies, it's just him basically doing a victory lap, as
Mhm.
he should.
Yeah, and it would be a
They're not
better
everywhere.
move than what Jordan did at the end of his basketball career, where no one
Just go play
cared.
basketball, go play baseball.
Yeah. No, no, the second time when he
Oh,
really retired.
oh, you mean when he came out of retirement to go
Yes.
play for the was it Charlotte Hornets?
No, wasn't it like the Wizards or something like
It was
that? I
both.
forget.
It
Oh,
was
okay.
both.
See, this is what I'm saying is that like what you're describing is a better legacy move because it doesn't seem as random.
I mean, it is because this is him not ever having taken that break,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
I guess the forced
He,
break. But yeah,
yeah, he never left to go play a different sport.
right.
So, yeah, it's a little different situation.
No, he just got sucked into the AI virtual world that was Warner Brothers.
Well, he has that in common with Michael Jordan, actually.
Yes, because Michael Jordan also got sucked into Warner Brothers IP to play basketball.
Yeah, hate to see it happen. Okay, so that's basketball. What else we got?
Well, over in the WNBA, since you
Hmm.
seemed to point out last
Yes,
week that I never talk about them,
it's true.
well, it's not true because I talked about Ozzy Fudd being drafted number one like literally 3 weeks prior.
I know. I was joking with you.
I know you're
Anyways.
ribbing me, but the WNBA is celebrating one of their beloved icons,
Yes.
specifically the two-time WNBA champion and four-time gold medalist, Lisa Leslie.
Yeah.
Yes, that Lisa Leslie,
All right.
as she is set to receive a statue outside of Crypto.com Arena. But it was announced this week the actual statue won't appear until September 20th. Fun fact, she is only the second WNBA player in the league's history to receive a statue from her respective organization. And it makes sense because she spent 12 years with the
Yep.
Sparks.
It also makes sense when you consider that Lisa Leslie is probably the most well-known female basketball player of all time. Like she was there at the start of the professional league and she stayed, like you said, for over a decade. And is kind of the name you associate with the WNBA. I mean, besides these relatively younger, newer names that have populated the teams lately. Um, Here's also my opportunity to give my little WNBA update. I was
Well,
able to watch some games.
okay.
I've chosen a team.
Oh, we have a team.
I have chosen a team, and no, I'm not going to follow the Sparks. I did
Okay.
consider it because we are in the LA greater metropolitan area,
Yes.
for lack of a better term. But I ultimately decided to just go by vibes.
Oh no.
And so I was looking at the list. I chose the Golden State Valkyries.
Oh no.
They're a relatively new franchise. They only started last year, which gives me a little bit of like starting at the ground floor kind of thing without actually starting at the ground floor. They're not an unknown quantity, they're just a lesser known quantity, which has points. I like
Mhm.
their color scheme. I like how they're kind of white and like violet, which is very cute. And also, they have a bird mascot, which is another like point in my book. And when they play in their court, they call it Valhalla.
Well, most importantly, do they play Flight of the Valkyries as they do the starting lineup announcement?
So unfortunately, I don't know, and here's
Okay.
why I don't know. The first game that I saw, I was able to watch. Their first game of the year was away. They were not in Valhalla. The second time I was able to watch a game, they were at home, but I missed the beginning. I came in like late third quarter. So I do not know the answer to that question. but I will let you know if that is the case because I
I feel like
do
they kind of
think
have to.
that is such a, no pun intended, slam dunk that they should absolutely do it. But yeah, this has kind of been interesting. It kind of reminds me of when I was getting into baseball for the first time,
Mhm.
watching it on television, because I'm kind of learning the game as I watch right now. So I'm kind of going in like not nothing. Like there's certain things that everybody knows about basketball, but there's also nuances that I don't know. Like, for example, what counts as fouls? Like, what are the rules? What is the reaction to a foul?
Mhm.
Like what's the timeout situation? Stuff like that. Challenges, like all the minutia is brand new to me, as well as some of the more specific like game terms that maybe I've heard but didn't really know what it meant. You're going to think this is the funniest thing, but I just learned what it means to be in the paint. I thought it was like a metaphor, but no, they literally mean that there is a portion that is painted
Yes,
on the court, and when you're in it, you're in the paint.
yes. That
I
portion
thought
is
it was
always
like
painted within the
metaphorical.
key.
Like, see, I thought it was metaphorical. Like in my head, I imagine someone like, I don't know, like with paint all over them because they're messy and they're like in the game. You know what I mean? Which isn't wrong, to be fair to me.
Yeah.
Like that's true. When you're in the paint, you are also in the paint. You're like in it, you know? So I'm not wrong, but I did actually learn what it meant.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, I'm putting the puzzle pieces together is I guess what I'm saying. Like,
Well, don't confuse field goals in basketball with
right,
field goals from
yes.
the NFL.
I do have to relearn a field goal. It actually makes more sense here than it does in football, weirdly enough. It's like this that just makes sense. You're making a goal from anywhere in the field.
Mhm.
Like as opposed to a field goal in football, which now seems really arbitrary. It's
Yeah.
like,
You're
well, it's a
kicking
kick
it,
though.
yeah,
I
through the
guess you're
goalposts anywhere on the
scoring,
field.
but you're scoring, but why is it 3 points? I will never know. The scoring, this is my biggest problem with football is the scoring makes no sense to me.
Because 3 points is half of a touchdown.
I guess, but why is a touchdown 6 points? Where did that come from? Whose idea was that?
Oh, would you like to do a big deep dive in the history of football?
We don't have time here on this
Okay.
podcast, but I just don't understand why one thing isn't just 1 point. Like basketball makes sense, right?
Let me introduce you to
One
Ken
point
Burns football.
is something easy, but like I get why a 3 pointer is 3 points because it's harder to hit, like to like get a basket from that distance. So I understand basketball. The points in basketball make sense to me because they're gradual, right? It's increasing with level of difficulty. But football, it doesn't make sense. It just seems arbitrary.
I mean, it is, but it also isn't. Like I said, the history of football.
Yeah. But then again, I also this is also why I will always go back to baseball because a run is a run is a run is a run, and that
Hmm.
makes sense to me. They're all
Yes.
1 point.
Unless you're playing Banana Ball.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about throwing the rule book out. All right. Anyways, so yeah, that's my
Anyways.
WNBA update. Unfortunately, they don't play again until next Thursday, and that game is on Amazon Prime, which I just canceled.
Ah, I mean, good for
Amy.
you. Well, fun fact then. The other statue, the besides Lisa Leslie, Sue Bird got
Oh,
her
that makes sense.
statue last year,
That
2025.
that makes sense. That fits.
Yep. All right. But we're not done with the sports corner, as lastly we need to talk about college, and there's a big ruling that happened this past week.
Yes.
The College Sports Commission won the first major test of its authority to enforce a salary cap in college sports, which, once again, brings money into college sports. And yes, there kind of is a salary cap. And how do they divvy up this money?
Hmm.
Well, on Monday, this ruling came in when an arbitrator upheld the agency's decision to deny a set of deals which involved millions of dollars in payments to a group of 18 Cornhuskers, the Nebraska football players,
Hmm.
from Play Fly Sports, which is a marketing firm that secures sponsorship opportunities for Nebraska and dozens of other high-profile athletic departments.
Yeah.
Under the new rules in college sports, schools are technically allowed to spend up to $20.5 million per year in direct payments to their athletes. However, the going rate for building a competitive roster in just football alone in this upcoming season ranges between 30 to 40 million dollars. So, to remain competitive, many programs are bridging that gap by arranging above the cap payments to players, which goes around what the school directly pays for and becomes endorsement deals between the players and boosters
Mm.
or other associated entities that function in reality as extra payroll dollars. And here we kind of get once again into the Kawhi Leonard situation that happened in the NBA, where he was paid extra money outside of the organization he plays for.
Yes.
And this also helps, it goes back to extra booster funding that was a part of the NCAA before NIL. I
Right.
mean, do we need to force everyone to watch the U documentary from 30 for 30 and
Can't
how
help it.
players would receive tips for playing well
Hmm.
after the game?
Yeah. Little encouragement, you know.
Yes. Thank you for doing so well,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you so much for supporting the program.
Yes. Thank you for playing for the team that I root for and pay for and went to.
Mhm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well,
Is this why didn't want money in college in the first place?
I mean, this. I get. You're not saying that. I think what you're saying, as your personal opinion, you're saying this is the opinion that people said back before all the ball started rolling in this
Hmm.
direction. Is that like this was only going to manipulate results? Ultimately, it was going to change the game, and it could.
Yeah, I mean, before it was the booster who owned a car dealership down the road would pay the football player a salary for working there, maybe 2 hours a week for working there. Not associated with him playing for the team. No, for working for him
Mhm.
2 hours a week if he showed up.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, money's gonna ruin everything.
It always does.
Yeah, but
All right.
that is it for sports news.
Yes, it is. Thank you for sports corner. Let's move on into some television news then. And we move from regular sports to fantasy sport. Wait, no,
Yeah.
not fantasy
Oh,
sports. No. By the way, still the fantasy baseball king over here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
yes. Go ahead.
Anyway, but no, we're not talking about fantasy sports. No, we're talking about fantasy on television, specifically based on fantasy books. We start with Apple TV betting big on their next major fantasy franchise, the Stormlight Archive, securing the screen rights to Brandon Sanderson's expansive Cosmere universe. This is a major coup for Apple TV, which is now positioned to potentially build a sprawling, interconnected fantasy epic series that could run way into the 2040s, if done correctly, on Apple TV. Sanderson's epic currently consists of 5 books, and he intends to write a second arc, which will feature 5 more books. So, is this something that's on your radar at all? I know you dipped a little bit into the fantasy pool. Are you a Brandon Sanderson guy yet?
No, this is my first time hearing about both the writer and these novels.
Really? Okay, he's incredibly popular. Like this guy is like when you ask like an average college dude, for example, what he's reading, he's probably going to say he's reading a Brandon Sanderson book. Like that's how this is like upper echelon of fantasy writers.
Okay, so I'm currently in the middle of Aka War, and I'm
Yeah.
really glad that is not being turned into a TV series in the certain time.
No.
Having read
Well,
it and
yeah.
really not liking it, but reading it anyways.
Uh, Real quick, are you up to date on pop culture Jeopardy?
No, I have not been watching Pop
Okay,
Culture Jeopardy.
never mind. You'll appreciate one of the categories on today's episode then,
Okay.
because also involves the next thing we'll be talking about: the long gestating Fourth Wing television adaptation has been ordered to series at Amazon Prime Video. Based on the best selling The Empyrean Romantasy book series from author Rebecca Yarros. Fourth Wing is set inside the brutal world of Basgiath War College, where there is only one rule: graduate or die. I mean, that was the rule when I was in college too. So,
Hmm. Well, that was your
Oscar,
parents' rule.
yeah, exactly.
Wait, no, that
No
was my
choice
parents'
there.
rule.
Ah, Oscar winner, executive producer, and Mediabo favorite Michael B. Jordan announced the series pickup from his Outlier Society production company. Author Rebecca Yarros will write with Lisa Joy from Westworld and showrunner Meredith Averill, who ran Lock and Key. This expands Yarros' partnership with Amazon overall, following the author's recent announcement that she's releasing a new novel with Amazon Publishing called Peculiar Stars on November 17th. Now, are you excited about this one?
Yes, this series I am excited about.
Yes.
Big Fourth Wing household over here.
Yes, I am.
Um, what the lead is bearing here is that this is dragon fantasy,
Yeah, yeah.
compared to the Stormlight Archives, which is more knights and round table,
Right.
not round table, but knights and Game of Thrones epic, like
Yeah.
vast sprawling series. Which,
Dragons.
yeah, dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah,
You like
but
dragons.
yeah, Fourth Wing is dragon riding and
Mhm.
dragon sex.
Wait, just to clarify, are the dragons having sex with each other?
Yes,
Other
but
dragons?
yes, but they're bonded to their riders,
Oh,
so the
okay.
riders feel them having dragon sex.
W- Oh, I
Oh
did not know
yeah.
this about the Fourth Wing books. That's
Oh
really
yes.
weird. I don't
Oh
know if I
yes.
like that or not.
It's really good.
I will take your word for that there. All right, let's please move on from that. You
No,
watched some
no, I want to talk
things.
more Fourth Wing.
No, sorry. This is not the podcast for that. You and Kristen should start a podcast where you guys talk about the books you're reading. That'd be cute. This is not that
But I already
podcast.
listened to Fantasy Fangirls podcast. I don't think I can top them.
Anyways, let's move on. I'm done talking about dragon sex and topping things. Let's move on to the next segment, which is thoughts. You watched some television. You watched a few things on television. Well, actually, two things and one little sneak preview for sneaks.
Yeah, let's preview
Um,
that sneak right now because
yeah.
we are in the final days of late show. Not necessarily
Yes.
late night as a general
Right.
concept, but
Well,
eh,
depends on who you
yes,
talk to.
yes. The late show with Stephen Colbert will end
Yes.
this upcoming Thursday.
Yeah.
And in solidarity with it, Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon are taking a Jimmy vacation and will not be airing new episodes at the same time.
Right.
Basically telling everyone to go watch
Go watch
CBS,
Steven.
give CBS all the eyeballs for this one show until everyone should probably cancel their subscriptions.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I was talking to Christy about this a couple nights ago, and I was like, yeah, I feel like this is the biggest one of these since Carson left.
Mhm.
And that was in the early 90s. So it's been a very long time, I think, when we've had a major host leaving a show like this in this way, in this culturally significant way. Of course, it wasn't like Carson, where he was able to host for decades and had a legacy and chose to leave on his own volition. This is a little
I
different.
mean, he hosted
But
for a decade.
yeah, I mean, yes, but not decades, plural. So yeah, it's a little different in legacy, but I think it feels like that in just the way that we kind of got here. So it'll be a notable thing. I think it'll be something that'll be neat to tune into. I don't know if I'm going to actually stay up that late on a Thursday night, but it's neat that it's happening, and or it's not. It's unfortunate that it's happening, but it's a neat cultural moment to be part of.
Yeah, I won't be watching this live because I don't have Paramount Plus. I'm a streaming only household here, so no proper cable TV.
Yeah,
Yes, I do know how to get actual proper cable TV. I'm just not setting it up yet.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
But I'll be watching this on YouTube the next day, as the way like 5 million other viewers do it
As
as well,
God intended.
as Google intended.
Yes. That's not all you've been watching.
No, we actually had the end of a series, Rooster. over on HBO and
Yeah.
HBO Max. Talked about this when it came out. Um, Both me and my doctor love Rooster. We watch it weekly when it comes out. It's one of our go-to shows. Like, oh, it's on. Unlike Hacks, where we kind of like watch it and then let it build up a couple episodes so we can watch them all at the same time.
Hmm.
Rooster, we were on a weekly drive. Like, oh, it's Sunday. We gotta watch Rooster. Oh, we didn't watch Rooster last night. We gotta watch Rooster. We gotta be up to date on it. So it's one of those. It's short. It's 10 episodes. It's sweet. It's funny. Very main character driven, especially at the end. But otherwise, it's a really really fun show. Kind of makes you feel good, even though the characters are going through some shit, both in their personal and professional lives.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, it is one of more heartwarming comedies out there.
Okay, cool.
But as to be expected, uh, by by show's creators.
Hmm. Hmm.
But that's not the only thing that I watched.
Right.
I went back to high school. You were this in high school, right? I think so.
Uh, Something
Middle
like
school?
that. Young, like I always imagine these characters younger, but I guess it depends on the adaptation you're watching.
Oh, well, these were all like proper school children in
Okay.
Lord of the Flies over on
Yes.
Netflix. The reason it's here and not in movies is because this is a 4 episode series.
It's a short
Both,
series, it's like
well, yeah,
a
well, they're both
limited
an hour,
series.
they're all an hour long.
Hmm.
So it runs through the entirety of the book. Really well shot, really well documented, really striking visuals. Acting is here and there because kids, but I think what you get out of this is a very faithful adaptation of the book. It sticks directly to the source material. It's really like doesn't shy away from the more gruesome aspects of the book.
Hmm.
And I think it gives every single, because it's 4 hours, a lot more spotlight to shine on these kids in
Yeah.
their situation and they're growing up, but also there are some flashbacks into how they grew up because there is flashbacks within the book of them like saying like how like my
Right.
dad did this, my mom did that, but instead showing, not telling, as a classic show, trope that you can't really do in books, especially when you're in the moment on an island. But really well done. I do want to recommend it to anyone who is either reading or has
Mhm.
read Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Again, everyone should have read Lord of the Flies at some point in their lives.
Definitely
But
seems like a
if
high school
not,
staple. Yeah.
this Netflix adaptation is a really good substitute.
Cool. All right. Wonder if that's going to be one of those things where English teachers right now are being like, "Hey, watch this since we're reading this. Like, I actually recommend it." Or if they're like, "No, don't ruin it," and you're like, "Just read the book." Could go either
You're
way.
supposed to read the book. Don't listen to AI.
All right, cool. Anything else that you watched you want to talk about?
No, but this past week was upfront week for
Yes.
networks and advertising. And as such, we had a lot of announcement on what was coming out and what was
Yes.
not coming out as well.
Right. So we will have a long list of cancellations, renewals. Real quick, I just want to mention, yes, I've been watching Pop Culture Jeopardy, which started
Yes.
on the 11th. It is now a daily thing as opposed to a
Hmm.
weekly thing like it was last week or last year.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's been a lot of Pop Culture Jeopardy goodness, and it's been a trip. So I recommend it. It's on Netflix this time, not Amazon Prime. So just programming alert for everybody who's confused. But yeah, so I've been watching that. But beyond that, pretty much. Oh, and next week, Survivor finale.
Okay.
So next, when we record next week, I should be caught up, and I will be able to talk about the finale of season 50.
All right.
All right. In the meantime, yes, let's go into those cancellations and renewals.
What am I no longer watching?
First up, you're no longer watching the thing no one was watching in the first place, which was On Brand with Jimmy Fallon. This was an NBC show, only had one season that I guess had brand deals. Like it
Yep.
was basically an ad.
Mhm. It
It
was
was
an
real
ad for
stupid.
ads.
Yeah, it was really stupid. Next up, The Lincoln Lawyer, the television show, will get its last season. Its last season will be its fifth season, which will be on Netflix. The Masked Singer will get a 15th season. Gordon
Sure.
Ramsay's Secret Service, which is a good name for a show, is getting a second season on Fox. Hell's Kitchen, speaking of Gordon Ramsay, also gets renewed 2 more seasons, which puts it at a total of 26.
I
Kitchen
will still
Nightmares,
be watching those.
yeah. Kitchen Nightmares will get a 10th season on Fox.
Still be
Next
watching
Level,
those.
yep. Next Level Baker, which is, I guess, a spinoff of Next Level Chef,
Yep.
will get 2 more seasons that will get add to its current 1 season, so that will be 3. Next up, Fox has renewed 99 to Beat for a second season. Crime Scene Kitchen for a 4th season. Celebrity Name That Tune for a 6th season. Boo, bring back Beat Shazam. Uh, Special Forces World's Toughest Test for a 5th season. Don't forget the lyrics for a 4th season. Again, boo, bring back Beat Shazam. And Extracted for a 3rd season. Celebrity Weakest Link for a 2nd season. Whew, it's a lot of Fox.
Yeah, lots of Fox there.
Peacock is bringing back Love Island Games for a 3rd season.
Hmm.
Sure. Bravo bringing back Top Chef for a 24th season. And The Real Housewives of Rhode Island for a 2nd season. NBC, as we mentioned last week, I think, Law and Order will get a 26th season. Yeah, I think we did that one already.
We mentioned that SVU was getting it, but Law and
Did
Order
we?
proper
Oh,
wasn't
I thought it
confirmed
was the
yet.
opposite. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I think you mentioned that SVU has more seasons
Yes.
than Law and Order proper. So I think we were talking about Law and Order. Well, it doesn't matter.
I don't
Moving
know.
on. Reacher will get a 5th season on Prime Video.
Hmm.
Jury Duty will get a 3rd season on Prime Video as well. My Life with the Walter Boys will get a 3rd season on Prime Video. Next on Netflix, Big Mistakes gets a 2nd season. Love is Blind gets an 11th season. Yeah, party down you.
Yeah. Hey,
Running
they're
Point.
going to Boston this time.
Oh boy. You think you'll go to Boston? Uh,
Shipped off to Boston.
I was gonna say there's 2 options there. I went with this worst one, I guess. I
Yes.
don't care for either, really. Um, Running Point gets a 3rd season, following its just recently released 2nd season. Apple TV, lastly, will bring back Margot's Got Money Troubles for season 2.
I
So
guess
there you
Margot
go.
continues to have money troubles.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe by the end of, I don't watch that show, so maybe by the end of season 1, she still has money problems. Like, I don't know, maybe OnlyFans is only so lucrative. At least I think that's what that show is about
I'm pretty sure
from
that's
the
what that show's
trailers.
about.
I'm sure there's more to it. I'm generalizing.
Mhm.
Sorry. Which
Which one is that?
Fanning is that? Is that Elle Fanning?
I
Elle
believe it's
Fanning,
the L.
not Dakota Fanning, right? Elle Fanning.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to a few deaths real quick before we move on. First up, Bobby Cox, age 84, a Hall of Fame baseball manager. Managed the Braves and Blue Jays. Also used to play for the Yankees, as well as a coach. Was a World Series champion in 1977 and 1995.
One of the few winners that has both a player and a coach.
Yeah, very rare. Very, very rare. 84.
Mhm.
Next up, Lou Graham, age 88, a golfer and the U.S. Open champion back in 1975.
You just got to win it once to be remembered forever.
That's true. It is true. Lastly, Barry W. Blaustein, age 71, a screenwriter, wrote Coming to America and The Nutty Professor. So, looking a lot of scripts written with Eddie Murphy, and also the director of Beyond the Mat.
Yep.
All right, that's it for deaths, which means we can move on into the last segment of the show, which is movies. And we start the movies section with the weekend box office numbers. And yes, thank you very much. I was correct again.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't really put up an effort
No, you did not.
with Billie Eilish.
You did not. You kind of waved the white flag that week. But yes, your number one movie is The Devil Wears Prada 2, sticking at number one with $41 million this week. That's at 143. Good start. Number two, Mortal Kombat 2, $38 million in its debut. Yeah, not nearly close to how the what they were hoping for a big action blockbuster like
Hmm.
this. I do believe it did better than the first one, and I don't mean the 90s one, I mean the one that came out in 2020 because it came out in 2020. So of
Yes.
course it didn't do better than that. Number 3, Michael, staking around with $37 million this week. That's at 241. Number 4, The Sheep Detectives, riding that wave of word of mouth to $15 million. That is getting wonderful reviews. People are calling that the feel good movie of the year. So,
It's
Christy and I are
talking
very interested.
sheep. It's hard
Talking
not
sheep?
to be feel good
I know.
movie.
And then rounding out your top 5 is, of course, Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the concert film directed by James Cameron. I always want to mention that.
Yes.
$7 million in its debut. So not terrible for a movie that probably not that many people had on their radar.
Yeah,
But
and also for
also,
an album that's been
yeah,
out for 4 years now.
right, for something that I haven't seen marketing for. And also, I'm assuming something that probably has 3D being a
Yeah.
push. And so that probably inflates the price of the tickets a little bit here, but either way. All right, let's move on to new releases this week. Got bad news, folks. It's really dire. We only have 2 new releases, and I don't know anything about either of these. We start with Is God Is. What is
Yep.
this?
It's a drama mystery.
Okay, a drama.
Dramatic
Oh,
pause.
mystery. Got it.
This one stars Sterling K. Brown,
Ah,
Vivica A. Fox, and Kara Young.
wait a minute. I didn't get a middle initial in that last one.
Kara Young.
Thank you. All right. And then the last, I didn't hear a rough out of that one. And then lastly, next we have also something called In the Gray.
This is your Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal
Hi.
action drama thriller, where
Sure.
they're not good, they're not bad, they're just in the gray.
No, I'm gonna say uh Prada 2 carries over.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, that's my guess. So if you want to choose something else, go for it.
I'm gonna go within the
Have fun.
gray.
Okay, go for it. I have not seen a lick of this thing. I don't know what it is. I've never seen an ad for it.
All right.
Sure.
I'm gonna go within the gray. You can go with product two. I'll throw out two other options, see if they pique your interest. The
Okay.
25th anniversary of Shrek.
No.
Okay.
That's number 5 at best.
All right. Your anime release of the week. Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway, The Sorcery of Nymph Circe.
First of all, that's inscrutable. Second, I thought we were done with new Anne Hathaway releases.
This is not Anne Hathaway. This is Gundam Hathaway.
We need a soundboard on this show. I need a real rim shot for that one to really land. Get a soundboard. Yeah, I
I've
don't know.
asked for them for Christmas.
I did. I got the weirdest email. I didn't know that thing. That's funny. You can have a digital one. You don't need a physical one. Um, Download it. You don't need that. No, I was gonna say the only reason why I know that Gundam movie is coming out is because I got an email from the Angels, like on the Angels email list, and they emailed me about the Gundam movie, and I was like, "This is a weird." Then I remembered, oh, that's right, they have a Bandai Namco sponsorship deal, so that's why they're doing this. I was like, "Why is the Angel? Why do the Angels want me to know about the Gundam movie?"
Hmm.
But it made for a fun subject line to read this morning. I was like, "What?" Anyways, so that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Prada 2 though. I feel like 20 still is 20, and I don't know much about In the Gray, so 20.
Henry Cavill needs this, and Jake Gyllenhaal needs this for over
Do
20.
they? Do they though?
Yes,
All right.
they
I'll
both
tell
need to
you.
win.
I'll tell you what other actors in Hollywood need. They need to be on this prestigious casting list to be the next James Bond.
Ooh.
I was hoping you were gonna do like go into the theme song there or something.
Which theme song? There's like 25 of them.
No, like the James Bond themes, like the doom 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 doom. Yeah, the one that's shared. Da-na, Anyways, Amazon MGM Studios has started auditioning actors for the part of 007 in the past few weeks, with the studio enlisting the help of Nina Gold to find the next Ian Fleming super spy. Her enlistment in the 26th James Bond makes sense as Gold understands the complexities of big franchises and is best known for filling out the world of Westeros on HBO's Game of Thrones. Her credits include the Netflix series The Crown, as well as 5 films in the Star Wars franchise. The latter saw her cast Daisy Ridley as Rey in The Force Awakens, one of the things that actually worked in that sequel trilogy. Gold's credits also include Les Miserables, I'm guessing the musical one, The Martian, and, of course, recently, Media Boat favorite Conclave.
Conclave.
She was nominated for an Oscar for her work on Hamnet in 2025, the first year, of course, that the Academy had an award for casting. The next James Bond film will be directed by one of your favorites, Denis Villeneuve, the filmmaker behind, of course, the Dune franchise. All right, cast that Bond.
All right. Well, currently the frontrunners are Frankenstein himself, Jacob Elordi.
Okay.
We also have Callum Turner
Okay.
and uh former Kick-Ass star Aaron Taylor Johnson.
What? No.
Yeah. All have been rumored to be in contention for the role.
That's odd. Why no Michael B. Jordan?
Because he's going to be doing his own thing, directing his own stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He's
He's also
busy.
executive producing
I
Fourth Wing.
think here's my opinion. I just think it's going to be a little disappointing if it's just another white British guy. Just a little bit. Just sad.
Well, I mean, do you expect Idris Elba to just say yes, even though he's been asking for this for the past 15 years now?
No, because unfortunately, no. And the reason is because if they're just recasting it now, they're going to want somebody younger because they want somebody
Mhm.
to last several movies in a franchise, not just one time. So, as much as we love Idris Elba, besides the AI ads, I do think that yes, unfortunately, he is not eligible for this role anymore. I do think they want somebody younger.
I mean, what's going to be really hilarious is if they cast Taron Egerton as James Bond, because he also did Kingsman, Secret
Right.
Service.
Yeah. It's basically the Kingsman was doing a Bond thing. And so it'd be like a little bit snake eating its tail there.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
he's already shown that he could be
Hmm,
spy and
true.
kick ass in it.
That's true. Not kick ass as Aaron Taylor Johnson, though. That's
Right? No,
a
no
whole
one can
nother
kick
league
ass
of
as
kick
Aaron Taylor
assery.
Johnson.
God.
That is a snake in
No.
its toe tail.
Yeah. No, thank you. All right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see how the casting goes.
Yeah,
Let's move
but
on.
at least they are
We're
looking
doing
at
it.
it. They are aware
Looking at them.
it is going to happen
There's a
because we do
lineup.
know that Dune 3
Yep.
is coming.
He's coming. Denise is going to be busy. All right. Speaking of busy, you've been busy getting up to watching questionable movies on television. You watched Goat.
Nah,
Goat.
nah.
All right, tell me about the goat.
All right. So, Steph Curry
Yeah.
is not an actual goat in this. In fact, he plays the giraffe, which is also weird.
Wait,
But he,
what? Hold
yeah,
hold on 1 second.
yes,
That's how you're opening this? You're opening by blowing my mind? I
yes,
thought he was the goat in Goat.
no, he's not the goat in Goat.
What?
He is based on the goat. His life is
Why
like the
didn't he just
foundation for Goat, but
why
he does
didn't
not
he
voice the goat in
why?
Goat
Why isn't he playing the character in which is based on him?
because they need an actual actor to act.
Are you're going to sit there and tell me that Steph Curry can't act?
I'm telling you that Steph Curry executive produced the Goat movie
Uh-huh.
and elected
Yes, to
to
not be
play
the
a giraffe
yeah.
in the movie.
Hey, we all have our personas. Anyways, go on.
Anyways, yes, this is basically Zootopia but basketball
Okay.
with all the same kind of tropes and quirks of you're a small animal. You can't handle the big, rough and tough uh basketball
Wait,
that us okay, they call it beast
question.
ball. But yeah, it's basically
Question.
basketball.
Question. Are giraffes really good at basketball because they're tall?
Yes, that is literally
Okay.
their excuse.
Cool. It took me all of 2 seconds to come up with that. So I'm glad they put in a lot of creative effort on this movie.
Yep. But there's also a panther who is like the
Mm,
savior of the team, but also the elder statesman of the team. So you know
sure.
what happens, right? They're going to
Uh,
get injured and have to like
oh yeah.
support the
Oh yeah, yeah.
newcomer on the
Oh
team.
yeah. Obviously, he has to take over for some reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the goat has to take over
The story.
uh, the story and be like the leader of the team, even
Hmm.
though they come in literally halfway through the season off the streets
Sure.
with zero professional experience involved
Sure.
and do well in the sport where other
Yeah.
professional uh, omnivoric animals exist.
Okay. All right. What kind of animals are we talking here? So we've established that at least one goat, and we've established giraffes. What are other and a leopard? What about other animals that are playing on this beast ball court?
There's a panther, there's
Okay.
a horse,
I'm sorry, panther, not
which is
leopard.
the main antagonist, pun intended.
Ha! Got it. Got it.
There's also an ostrich on the team and a
Okay.
rhinoceros on the team.
Okay. Sure. All right. I mean, you need guards, I guess.
Yes, but they also play against different biomes, which have their own separate teams. Like the ice team consists of polar bears, snow
When you
leopard.
said again, the creative energy's off the charts here because when you said biomes, I immediately thought, oh, an ice team with polar bears.
Yep,
Cool. I'm glad I could have written this, but
yes,
go on.
yes. You also have like uh, was it like the desert team.
Sure, yeah.
I guess what's on the desert team?
Uh, that's actually harder. Actually, not sure about that one.
Camels and snakes. You're
Camels and
right.
snakes. Okay, there you
Yes.
go. Yeah. Mhm.
And yeah, just like the most obvious animals you can think
Sure.
of, but also they're not really the focus here, so they only get
Yeah, yeah,
about 2 minutes of screen
yeah. Right.
time in total.
You're seeing them probably in like the what do you
The
call it?
run up to the end,
Yeah,
the
like the quick like what's the word?
montage.
Montage, thank you. But I was like searching for the word montage in my brain.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the montages where it's like, oh, like we're seeing all the
Oh,
games that
they're
he's
working
winning.
together. Yes, they're
Yeah.
working together. They're
Yeah.
winning.
So they're uniting as a team. There's like seeing that there's value in this rookie and like, yeah,
Hmm.
until it
Yes.
all falls apart.
I really hesitate to call him a rookie because he is literally picked up off the
Mhm.
street
Right.
mid-season
Yeah.
as a stunt to sell tickets.
Yeah. From the G League, which I'm guessing in this case is called like the Grassland League or something.
Nope. Literally off the streets. He's a delivery boy before he plays in the NBA, basically.
Sure. What does he
Because
deliver?
that classically works.
What does he deliver? Like goat milk?
Pies.
Oh wow, I was way off. Okay.
Yeah, he's a delivery boy for a diner. Oh,
Sure.
but we got to make sure that you sympathize for him. So he's
Oh yeah.
also kicked out of his place because he hasn't paid rent for the past four
Hmm.
months, even though his landlord has allowed him to live there rent free for the past 4 months.
Oh, it's a Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah,
Got it.
but also he had to sell his shoes in
Uh-huh.
order to try and make rent, but then his rent
Sure.
money got stolen.
Okay.
So really down on his luck and
Sure.
million to one shot, like finds a way to rectify everything.
Oh, it's an underdog. I mean, an undergoat story.
Yeah, yeah, because he is the could be goat. Hard to say if he is the goat in this movie because the amount of beast basketball that they actually show him actually doing, like his stat line is nowhere near actual goat status.
The movie doesn't actually care to prove to you that he is good at basketball.
Yes, it proves to me that he is good intellectually at
Sure,
basketball,
yeah.
but not all that
Like, yeah.
physically at basketball.
Like they're not giving you his like shot percentage
No,
at any point.
no. Which is basically the same thing that happened in Space Jam with the Looney
Sure.
Tunes. You don't see their
Right.
shot percentage. You just watch the scoreboard slowly tick up. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they must be making some shots here.
It only matters if they win, you see.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your stat line is at the end of the end of the game,
Doesn't
end of
matter
the
if you're
year, end of
actually
the game.
valuable to the game. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't matter if you only come in like 2 minutes left in the game. If you help win the game,
Right.
then you're the
Did
hero.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the extra push at the end. Not that you did all the work to help keep them in the game the entire time.
All right. Let's stop beating around the bush. Is this movie worth watching? Like, is there something redeemable here? Is it like fine kids entertainment, or is this kind of a disaster?
It's from Sony. It does do some things a little outside the box. It does
Okay.
do stuff a little bit creatively. Not necessarily something that I'm like, yes, watch this. This is
Right.
like film masterpiece here.
Sure.
This isn't Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
It's not Spider-Man. It's
It's
not
not
even K-pop
Mitchell's.
Demon Hunters. It's
It's not
not.
even Mitchell's versus the Machine.
Right. Well, no, few things are. Let me
Yes,
tell you.
but it's serviceable enough for
Sure.
being a basketball fan.
All
It's
right.
serviceable enough for being like a kid movie with talking animals.
Sure. Yeah. It's
It's just
not
serviceable
Zootopia
enough.
2
No, but it's also
either.
serviceable enough of being a film about the young and the old and the passing of the torch. Although it does get really on the nose when they try to shoot a commercial of our Panther literally passing the torch to the goat, and she won't do it because she's like, "Why do I do this literally? I don't need to do this literally. I'm walking off set."
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. How's Steph
Yeah,
Curry
yeah.
in
Uh,
this?
I mean, I didn't realize it was Steph Curry until it's wrote to the credits.
So not great.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, let's be real. Like when you look at the pantheon of basketball players who have had been in movies, it's not great. Like Michael Jordan, not a great actor. LeBron James, also just an okay actor. I mean, like he's done some interesting stuff. Kevin Garnett in Uncut Gems. You haven't watched that yet, but trust me,
Oh, I kept trying to. That's why I was in Netflix. But I watched Lord of the Flies instead.
trying to.
I watched
You're
Lord of the
funny.
Flies instead, and then I watched Goat instead.
Well, you'll get to it. And when you do, you'll see Kevin Garnett, actually an okay actor.
Okay.
He's pretty good. At least for what he's asked to do in that movie, he's actually pretty
Well, what to say about Kevin Garnett? Anything is possible.
good. Exactly. That is what they say.
That's what Kevin Garnett says.
Uh-huh, yeah, it's true. All right. Anyways, so
Anyways,
that's Goat.
okay.
It's like
If none
fine.
of that sells you on this movie,
No, not
one
really.
thing definitely will.
What?
It has me one of my favorites in any type of movie.
A surprise Patton Oswalt?
You got it.
Yes. Let's go.
Automatically makes this thing a B-level movie.
Wow. How did I call that? Also,
You know me
um,
too well.
yeah, it's true. I was like, this sounds like something that Patton Oswalt will just randomly be in. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
You're missing out on not pop culture Jeopardy, Celebrity Jeopardy right now. Patton Oswalt, surprise Patton Oswalt shows up.
Ooh.
So yeah. All right. Anyway, that's Goat. So it's a medium recommendation. A recommendation if you don't have anything else better to watch. It sounds like.
Yeah. It's fine. It's serviceable.
Serviceable
You
three
you get the
stars.
idea. You get the
Yeah,
idea of what it is going into it. Even without having seen it, I knew the idea going into it.
fair enough. All right. Well, I didn't watch any movies, so that means with that, that'll be it for the Media Boat podcast this
All
week.
right.
Thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, you can listen to us all sorts of ways. You can watch us in video form on YouTube. Just search YouTube for the Media Boat Podcast. You can find us on podcast services in audio form if you search Media Boat Podcast there. You can also find us on the internet, like on Blue Sky, where if you search Media Boat, you'll find us. And you can even find us on twitch.tv/MediaBoat, where Mike will occasionally play video games. I would guarantee that you will probably be playing some Lego Batman when that comes out next week. So
Yep. I'll
watch
probably
that
be
space.
streaming the end of Pragmata.
That too.
Um, yeah, this probably this weekend.
Cool. All right. Look forward to that. And then, last but definitely not least, if you want to email us questions, comments, feedback about the show, anything that your heart desires, you can email us at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com and we will read it here on the show. So please do. All right. That'll do it.
Yep. We'll be back next week for our Memorial Day episode.
Yes. 3-day weekend,
Well, we don't
baby.
actually record on Memorial Day. We'll be recording the day
Right.
before the weekend starts. So then
Exactly.
once we end recording, then we can just finally start the 30-day weekend.
Yeah.
But hey, that's next week where we'll have more news, more thoughts, your thoughts on Survivor 50,
Yes.
and more of
Next
us.
week.
And maybe some Batman.
Maybe some Batman. Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's next week's stuff. We'll
All
have
right.
all that and more. Okay,
See ya.
bye.
Bye.